Alright, so get the camera. Camera's good, camera's good. Open up with the bottle of water. I'm a bit disappointed in myself because I feel a little bit embarrassed, I should say, because I had actually this entire video scripted and ready to go while I was on my trip for work. And the problem was, I was filming it and my mic was muted 40 minutes into the video. So I had to scrap the entire video, which I'm a bit disappointed in myself at, and I got hit with a noise complaint. But this is the much lauded Koga video, and there's gonna be a lot of just me bashing on Koga. Notice I'm like checking the mic right now. I want to make sure everything's good. We got the mic, we got I'm back home. I don't have to worry about shit. I'm in my element. So, you know, we got our bottle of water, you know, in case we have to have a Marco Rubio moment. But yeah, today's gonna be a lot of shitting on Koga. And the sad part is, the reason why I'm shitting on Koga is mostly because of the fact that he is the most broken character in Paladins. And that's not a good thing. I've been hearing a lot of that with Dredge, where people talk about Dredge and they say, well, Dredge is broken because Dredge is a spammer. He either spams his harpoon or he spams the reload. Like, that's all he does. He just spams those two abilities. But this is my thing with Dredge. Dredge requires aim. You have to aim your harpoon. It's like, really the only thing that you can do is hit big giant shields for shielding damage. And on Scuttle, you still have to aim the AoE of it. I'm just gonna pick this just so I can switch the character. But, like, literally, Dredge is a champion that requires skill because he requires aim. And we're gonna talk about Koga. Now, this is the problem with Koga. Koga has two playstyles. That's it. He has just two playstyles. And that is claws or SMGs. And of those two playstyles, you have two subsets. So your claws are skewer or claws. And your SMG, you just have dash and bash or all dash. And that's really what it is. And it is those two playstyles. And people say, well, other easy-to-use champions, you know, they have just the same two playstyles. That's not true at all. Okay, if you want to look at the champions that people say are easy to use, and there is a big difference between a champion that's easy to use and a champion that requires skill. Where people say easy to use champions like, you know, Victor, Vivian, Tyra, Moji, Koga, Buck, they have no place at all in the game. Because they're just so easy to use. And the only high-skilled champions like Shaolin and Drogos and Cassie, those are the only champions that really should be played. Well, here's the problem with that. So, what's the common thread? With the exception of Buck, all 6 of the champions that I said were the easy-to-use champions. What makes them easy? Automatic fire, automatic fire, automatic fire, automatic fire, automatic fire. Shaolin, Cassie, Drogos, projectile weapons. They're all projectile weapons. They're not rapid fire weapons. They're a slow pace of weapon. Whereas the other champions are more rapid fire. The other champions are hit scans. And a lot of people say that projectile weapons and hit scan are harder to use, and it makes them better by default. That they're better champions to play. Because, for example, Shaolin has a much higher ceiling. You have to be a lot more skilled to play Shaolin than you do to play Victor at an entry level. Victor, you just, you know, point and shoot. Whereas Shaolin, you know, you have to draw back, aim, lead your shot a little bit. But Victor is still an effective champion. Anyone can play Victor, but not anybody can be good on them. It's the same thing on Shaolin. Anybody can play Shaolin. Not everybody is good on Shaolin. Is it harder to play Shaolin than it is to play Victor? Yes. But because Victor has a lower entry level, that doesn't mean that his skill gap is also lower. Okay, where Shaolin has a higher skill level to come in than Victor does. Some people naturally assume, well, Shaolin has a higher skill ceiling than Victor's skill ceiling is. It's like this. This is the best way I can put it. I need extra hands for this, basically. But that's not the case. And that's the problem with Koga. Koga's skill ceiling and his entry level are the exact same. You play Koga, and you are a master at Koga. Plain and simple. I don't like him. I just do not like Koga. So we're going to talk about what strategies aren't viable, first off. And this is what should be viable. So let's first look at Blood Reaper. Blood Reaper, this is the build that I have for it, which we'll come back to. But basically, this is Koga's kit. So, Koga's kit is, he has dual welding SMGs with a 70 round magazine, and this is the rate of fire on it. That's really good. He also has the fastest reload speed in the game, by the way. And there's another thing I want to mention.
Ready to die?
He also has pretty close to infinite range on his SMGs. I just want you to look. Now, I'm only shooting for 20 damage. I just want you to know that. But I'm able to hit 20 damage at almost any range. Okay? If I can see them, they're dead. That's not good.
First blood.
I killed a Sky from all the way over here. That's not viable, first off. Okay? Talus's SMG cannot hit this far away. You don't believe me?
I should buy something fun with these credits. Tag.
Now look at the recoil that Talus has. Talus cannot viably hit shots like Koga can. So there's the first part of Koga's kit. Alright, so that's your R2. Now your L2 is a dash. And what this does is when you dash, it makes you damage immune, and CC immune, and cauterize immune, and pretty much everything immune for the duration of the dash. And you go forwards. And it consumes 1 bar of energy, because the Koga does not have cooldowns. Koga uses these little bars underneath the screen. And you use all of your abilities, and that's what happens. So, that's what his dash consumes 1 bar. That's pretty good. And then you have your R1, which is agility, which makes you go faster and jump higher. That's agility normal, and then this is normal Koga. Agility. Koga. Agility's nice, and Shadow Step is nice, but you gotta buff him a little bit. And his passive allows you to hold X and climb up walls. Now, where you get into the fun stuff is when you switch to your L1. That is your claws. So switching to your L1, now your R2 becomes these claws. And when you do your L2, when you press L1,
Let's get wild.
you can use your Shadow Step now becomes Skewer. Now, Skewer allows you to go into the air. So Skewer is good for vertical mobility, if you need vertical mobility. An interesting strategy that I do is... by the way, you also have to be on the ground to use your ult. That's another important thing to note, because I see a lot of Kogas try and use their ult to keep them from dying if they get knocked off the map. That's not going to work for you, buddy. But Skewer consumes all of your energy. Now, Skewer at base value deals 600 damage. And it's important to note because your claws deal 600 damage. And your claws fire really fast. It's 2 shots per second. And they consume energy a lot slower than that does. Now, Blood Reaper is kind of his worst card. We'll explain why in a minute. This is also his ult. So it damages everybody in this circle for a lot of damage. But the big thing is, it makes you damage immune for the duration of it. Which is cheesy as fuck. Because his ultimate and a no cooldown ability give him damage immunity. He essentially has Moji's magic barrier for 3 times and an ultimate. Yeah. That's not balanced at all. Not to mention the fact that he has a hit scan weapon with a very long range, a deep clip, and good damage, and a good rate of fire.
Like this.
And people say, well, Koga only deals 40 damage a shot. Only? Ruckus is similar, and not to mention the fact it's 60 on headshots. So yeah. Alright, so let's talk about it. So what does Blood Reaper do? Well, Blood Reaper is interesting because what Blood Reaper does is you deal damage. I timed that all wrong, sorry. You deal damage, more damage based off of the energy you have. So it deals about 1,000 damage as opposed to 600 damage in Blood Reaper. This is the kit that I go with it. This is the build on it. So this is called Kill to Heal. So kills with Skewer will give you 1,000 health. And then if you get Kill to Heal with this, that's why it's called Kill to Heal, and you have that maxed out, you get 1,900 every time you get a kill with Skewer. So it's basically a free health reset. And you're going to see Surprise and Tenacious on every single Koga build. And that is because those are the only two cards that you need on any Koga build ever in the history of Koga, because those two cards are broken as fuck. So yeah, those cards aren't very good. So then we have your other strategy, which is Dragon Fangs. Now on the surface, Dragon Fangs is great, and I'm going to explain why. So Dragon Fangs, remember, deals 600 damage every 0.5 seconds. So that's 1,200 damage a second. Now on Dragon Stance, it no longer consumes energy, but it consumes health. So 200 health per second, and it requires 400 health to initiate. But I just want to showcase. So just looking at this, this is the build for it. So Criminal Record here is the key. So 25% life rip while in Dragon Stance. So you deal 1,200 damage per second. Now, 25% is 300. So you, as long as you hit your shots, you heal for 300 health per second, and you lose 200 health per second for Dragon Fangs. So technically, you actually heal more than you lose. Now let me show you the problem with this build.
Back to basics.
It's not gonna let me do that, unfortunately. Ready?
That's 5 in a row. Double kill. Triple kill. Unstoppable.
Oh, I'm too low now, you see. I have to heal up before I can use it again. That's a disadvantage of the claws. That right there is why it doesn't work. See, what that card doesn't account for is you dying.
Let's get wild.
Now this is the other thing. Now your health will never completely drain on this card. It'll take you down to 15 health and you'll switch.
Killing spree.
Now this is the other thing with Koga's Dragon Fangs as well. And this is another part of the kit that I don't really like. Skewer still consumes all of your energy. That to me would be better. But that card is basically useless unless you have someone that is pocket healing you. Now the problem for me is Koga was designed for his claws to be a big part of his kit. It was designed for him to pull his claws out and just go to town on people and say fuck you and wreck everybody up. But the problem with Koga is that no one uses his claws because they're not really needed. I'm not answering that phone. No. Shut up. So, like, his claws are a bit redundant. Now we talk about the fun shit. And by the fun shit, I mean, fuck Koga with a 50-foot pole up his ass. So these are your two builds. This is Adrenaline Junkie and this is Master of Arms. Now what's the difference? Both of these all rely around your aim. Well, you would think, well, that means that Koga needs good tracking aim. Koga does not need good tracking aim. This is your first build that I do. This is basically a CC resistance build. This allows you to be an anti-tank. Because of the fact that you literally can just shoot everything, and if you get stunned, you're out of it in a half a second and can shadow step and heal up and reload. And then this is your other build. This is the build we're going to run. It's called Noob Tube. This is literally the only build you have to run. You can take Harsh Training out. You can take Wind's Embrace out. You can take Something to Prove out. Literally, as long as you have Surprise at 3 and Tenacious at 5, you're good to go. You put Surprise at 5 if you want. I don't care. Koga's a Noob Tube on this build. Let me explain why. This is how Koga functions. Here we go. Now, this is on Master of Arms. So when you hit your shots, there's a 50% chance you don't lose your ammo, which basically just reduces the amount of time that you have to reload. Now, it is a bit of a nerf from when it was at 100%, where I could just sit here and fire for days without ever having to reload. But here's the problem. Let me show you. Okay. Oh no, I need to reload! Oh. Oh no, I need to reload! Oh. Oh no, I need to reload! Oh.
Is that?
Oh no, I need to reload! Oh. Oh no, I need to reload! Oh. Oh, I was actually out of ammo there. Oh no, I need to reload! Oh no, I need to reload! Oh no, I need to reload! Yeah, that's Koga. Shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot, reload. You wanna know why? Because you reload by shadow stepping, which makes you damage immune, and it heals you for 300 health. He's more broken than Androxus. Now, and I'm not talking about Androxus's punch, I'm talking about this. So, when Androxus wants to heal away, wants to dash to heal, he heals for 600, because the most he can get is 200 per dash. Koga gets 300 a dash. That's not right. Now there's an even worse card you can run called Adrenaline Junkie. Yes, Adrenaline Junkie is worse. Why? Because of this. Your shot cause you to generate your meter, which means realistically you never have to reload. Well, unless you're like me and you just don't care. Now, how often do you see this on top play with Koga?
Some die. Let's get wild.
Yeah, you know why you don't see that on top play? Because Kogas don't pull out their claws. Kogas just sit there and they hold down that button and then they press shadow step and they run away like a little fucking girl. Wee, I'm running away and reloading and healing. Wee. That's Koga in a nutshell. Now, just to mention this, Koga, as I said, has the fastest reload speed. So just watch this right here. Let's get a spray. We'll empty the clip. That's your reload speed. So now you have Now you have Deft Hands 1, and this is your reload speed. Okay, that's not bad. Here's Deft Hands 2. Okay, that's really not bad. Here's Deft Hands 3. One misses. One miss. It's less than a half a second! His reload time is the fastest in the game on Deft Hands 2 or higher. On top of the fact that he doesn't ever have to fucking reload because... Shadow step. Shadow step. Now, there's really no counter to Koga because of the fact that he can literally just shadow step and heal and reload. So he never runs out of ammo. If he times his energy right, he never runs out of health. He's a small enough target that has good tracking aim to the point where he's OP as fuck. Now, for your items, what do you buy? Well, I should actually change. I do this real quick. Just pick Master of Arms with the Noob Tube. I want to reset this. So what do you buy? Well, you don't have to worry about Kronos on him. So, out of the yellow category, what do you buy? Pretty much morale boost, because it basically, if you get morale boost at level 3, it basically gives you an extra ability. It's basically a long cooldown ability. It's a 30-second cooldown. basically. That's what Morale Boost 3 gives you. Nimble's viable because it makes you fast as fuck, boy. And then you've got Master Rider for just being an annoying prick if you want to just get into position earlier. But none of these are requirements. Pretty much you get Kill to Heal or you get Life Rep. You can even get fucking Veteran. There's no reason to get Rejuvenate on them. Like, there's really just Kill to Heal because of the amount of Spray and Pray, or Life Rip because of your constant DPS. You don't need Resilience, you can build it as kit. He doesn't give a shit about Illuminate because fuck the invisible people. Blast Shields and Haven are what you buy here, and then you get one of the red items. Reload speed if you want to be annoying as hell and just constantly have the fastest reload ever. Wrecker if you want to burn through shields. Cauterize because you apply Cauterize constantly. It's like Fernando Flamethrower, basically. And then Bulldozer, well, pretty much unless you're being annoyed. Problem on Koga. This is where I have a problem with Koga. So, every champion in the game. Zin's ult, nope, Shadow Step. Ying, Ying doesn't really have anything, but Ying sends a clone your way, nope, Shadow Step. Willow Dead Zone, nope, Shadow Step. A Seedling, nope, Shadow Step. Vivian, ult, because it goes through a shield. And you're damage immune. Vivian's trying to shoot you, nope, Shadow Step. Victor Grenade, Victor Barrages, anything Victor, nope, Shadow Step. Tyra, Shadow Step. Damba, Shadow Step. Like, literally. Release the Shadow Step. Death awaits you, Shadow Step. Come on, let's Shadow Step. Last one standing, Shadow Step. Give your king a big Shadow Step. Here's the Shadow Step. Go, Shadow Step. Well, not really that one. You can't really counter Cassie's ult. Behold, the dragon! Shadow Step. Ha! Shadow Step. You can't really counter Fernando's ult. You can't really counter Furia's ult. You challenge! Shadow Step. You can't really counter Maeve's ult. Kneel before Shadow Step. No one escapes the Shadow Step. Don't blink, you'll Shadow Step. Try and Shadow Step. Con, you're my Shadow Step. Step into the light and Shadow Step. You are not Shadow Step. Can't really do anything against Grovers. Surging with Shadow Step. Sunday with Shadow Step. Snack Shadow Step. What does Pip say when he does his ultimate? Special delivery? Special Shadow Step. Bringing out the big Shadow Step. Gaze into the Shadow Step. Can't really counter Shaolin's all that well. Times Shadow Step. Flash out Shadow Step. Can't really counter Talus's. But you can Shadow Step afterwards. What's more, Shadow Step. It's working! It's Shadow Step. Can't really counter Zins. You can try. It's kind of hard to pull off the timing, but you actually can. Can't really counter Yings. Can't really counter Willows. Can't really counter Vivians. Barrage in Shadow Step. Give them Shadow Step. And in every single situation that I mentioned here, where I said Shadow Step, you know what you can do? Ult. Shadow Step and Koga's ult removes everything. This is not balanced. The ability to have all of that is not balanced.
See a doctor for that.
Let me show you something right here.
You're already dead.
5 seconds of damage immunity. 5 seconds of CC immunity, of Cauterize immunity, dealing 3,000 damage, reloading, healing, is not balanced. That's not balanced. People say, oh, Koga, you just don't know how to handle Koga. No, Koga is OP as fuck, I have the ability to remove every debuff in the game, buff myself by reloading up to 40 rounds per dash, 300 health per dash, with the fastest reload speed in the game. The third fastest movement speed in the game behind Eevee and Maeve. And then on agility, which I can buff agility to be the second fastest movement speed in the game behind fucking Maeve. This is not balanced shipping. Now, this is actually going to be unique for me. What do I think do you do to fix Koga? For one thing, take the fucking ammo out. I personally would remove his Shadow Step. He doesn't need it. Agility should be his main movement speed. Increase the duration of agility from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. That would be my first and foremost fix. Remove Shadow Step and make his left SMG and his right SMG function separately. So that he had 2 SMGs. You could have them with 70 round magazines, but you could fire one SMG and then fire the other one while you were reloading. Remove the Shadow Step. Give him 2 SMGs that you could control. Make his claws better. His claws are really his strong spot, but no one uses them because there's no need to. It takes too long to switch in and out of your claws when I can just do this.
In a row. Double kill. Triple kill.
That's not balanced.
Unstoppable.
That's not balanced. Okay? Now Moji, people say, well, Moji's such an easy to use champion. Okay. Okay, Moji's such an easy to use champion. Okay. Where are we at? Now I was standing right here. I can't hit second hit from here with my R2. Okay, that's Moji's limitation. That's called range. Well, Victor's so easy to use, you could just run firefight. Victor has more severe recoil. Well, Vivi is so easy to use. Vivian has more recoil. Well, Tyra's so easy to use. I'm just picking this because Tyra has more recoil. This is not balanced.
The enemy is a new lesson.
Double kill.
It's not balanced. He has no recoil. He has none. He has weapon spread from rapid fire like Tyra does, but he has no recoil. The fucker has no recoil. He has the third fastest movement speed in the game. He has a weapon that can poke from any range. He has a very large magazine. He has the fastest reload time in the game. He has ability that removes cauterize and CC and debuffs and makes him damage immune and heals him and reloads. He has an ult that gives him damage immunity and deals a fuck ton of damage. Oh yeah, and there's no reason to use his best weapon, which are his claws. Plain and simple. This is a broken fucking champion. And a lot of people sit here and tell me Koga's fine. Koga has counters. Koga doesn't have counters! What are you talking about? Okay, so here's your counters on Koga. Champions that murder him before he can do the same. So Shaolin, because he deals 1,000 a shot. Barrack can kind of counter him because he has 2 turrets he can deploy plus his primary gun. So, you know, you got the 2 turrets plus his gun. That's 3 forms of damage shooting the same target. Maybe Leon because of her auto aim, and her ult is kind of anti-flank. Like, her ult is literally anti-flank, but even then, Koga still counters all of them. Because Koga is able to dash around Shaolin's shots. He can ult in Shaolin's planted to keep from dying in that. He shadow step past Leon's ult, and he can heal himself by just shadow stepping, so Death and Taxes doesn't bother him at all. And on Barrack, he just simply ignores the turrets and shoots the Barrack, applies Cauterize. Barrack can't heal from his turrets, and then he shadow steps if he needs to reload or heal, which Barrack can't do the same thing. I mean, Kathy's kind of annoying because she does deal high damage per shot, but it's very hard to hit a moving target on Koga unless they're predictable. Drogo's is pretty easy because he really only needs 2 good rocket shots to make Koga run away like a little girl, but the problem is Drogo's an area damage, and getting a direct hit on Koga is hard to do between shadow stepping. Maeve? Oh, well, Maeve's the counter because Maeve can just street justice and instantly kill him. No, Maeve is not a counter. Like, literally the only counter I've found is Punch Droxus. Just punch, 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 punch. Because Punch Droxus deals 700 damage a punch at close range, and Koga shadow steps and heals for 300. So eventually Koga is going to die after enough punches. But I mean, that's if you can get that far. Koga is just broken beyond a doubt. And Adrenaline Junkie is actually now his best card. They nerf Master of Arms properly, so it's not really viable. But you run Adrenaline Junkie because it lets you recharge your energy bar so you can use all of your abilities. Like, see, a smart strategy is
See a doctor for that.
you switch back and forth between your weapons.
Get wild.
Seven in a row.
Using your SMG to charge... Using your SMG to charge your claws.
Triple kill. That's 9
You're
in a row.
already dead. Some
Double
live,
kill.
some die.
That's 11 in a row. Triple kill. Quadra kill. Godlike.
Back to basics.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Koga for you. That's Koga in a nutshell. Broken and unbalanced. Go fuck yourself. I have to stop this video. Like, I had scripted this for an hour and 20 minutes, and then I just cut it down because I just wanted to rant about Koga. This is Koga right here. Hold down one button. And then tap a second button a couple times if you need to reload and heal up.
Never
Double kill.
Yeah, that's Koga for you. Hope you had fun. But I don't.